The Nile has seen many queens, but none like her. Cleopatra is even Philopator, last pharaoh of Egypt, born in an age of decline, yet she moved through it like a comet. The world remembers her as a seductress, a beauty, a destroyer of men, but beauty was only her weapon. Her true gift was vision. She was the final echo of a civilization that refused to die quietly. 69 BC, Alexandria, a city of marble, perfume, and mathematics. The Ptolemaic dynasty, descendants of Alexander the Great's general Ptolemy, has ruled Egypt for 3 centuries. They speak Greek, not Egyptian, worship foreign gods, and rule from palaces of gold surrounded by poverty. Cleopatra grows up between 2 worlds, the Egypt of her people and the Greece of her blood. She learns languages, 9 of them, philosophy, medicine, astronomy, and most importantly, politics. She watches courtiers flatter her father and plot behind his back. She studies how words kill faster than swords. From the beginning, she understands. A queen survives not by kindness, but by theater. When her father dies, she inherits the throne with her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII, a child easily led by ambitious advisors. At 21, she's pushed out of Alexandria. The nobles laugh, thinking exile means defeat. They forget she was born under the sun of Egypt, and the desert teaches patience. For a year, she raises an army near Syria, waiting. Then fate delivers her opportunity. 48 BC, a Roman civil war spills into Egypt. Julius Caesar, the most powerful man in the world, arrives in Alexandria to settle a dispute between her and her brother. Cleopatra understands instantly. This is her moment. She's smuggled into Caesar's palace, rolled inside a rug. When the carpet unrolls and she steps out, dusty and defiant, history changes course. She doesn't beg. She speaks to him as an equal. Caesar, conqueror of Gaul, a man who's seen everything, stares at her as if he's never seen anything like her. He sides with her, defeats her brother, and places her on the throne. Rome thinks it's saving Egypt. In truth, Egypt has begun to seduce Rome. Together they sail the Nile on a golden barge, surrounded by musicians, servants, and priests. Cleopatra appears before her people dressed as the goddess Isis, radiant under torchlight. To the Egyptians, she's divine. To Caesar, she's irresistible. She gives him a son, Caesarion, half god, half empire. For a brief time, Alexandria becomes the center of the world again. But in Rome, jealousy grows. Senators whisper that their general has been enslaved by an Eastern queen. When Caesar is assassinated in 44 BC, Cleopatra's world collapses overnight. She flees back to Egypt, alone but unbroken. She kills her remaining brother to secure the throne and names her infant son co-ruler. She knows Rome will return, and she intends to be ready. 3 years later it does, in the form of 2 new masters, Mark Antony and Octavian. One fiery and generous, the other cold and calculating. Rome is split between them. Cleopatra studies both and chooses the man whose heart can still be conquered. She sails to meet Antony in Tarsus. The story is legend now. The queen approaching on a barge of gold, sails of purple, oars of silver. Perfume fills the harbor before the ship is seen. She sits beneath a canopy of stars, dressed as Venus, smiling like a woman who already knows the ending. Antony laughs the moment he sees her. That laugh seals his fate. Their alliance becomes both political and personal. Cleopatra needs protection. Antony needs wealth. Together they find something more dangerous: love. For years they rule side by side. She from Alexandria, he from the east. They feast, hunt, and plot to unite Rome and Egypt into one golden empire. She bears him 3 children. To the people of Egypt, they are divine lovers, a living myth. But in Rome, Octavian turns their love into treason. He spreads rumors. Antony has been bewitched, has crowned Cleopatra queen of Rome, has promised Caesar's throne to her foreign son. The Senate, terrified of losing control, declares war not on Antony, but on Cleopatra herself, the perfect villain. 31 BC, Actium, the battle that ends an age. Cleopatra and Antony command a fleet against Octavian's legions. The sea burns, smoke blinds the horizon. Cleopatra sees the tide turning and orders retreat to save her treasure fleet. Antony, torn between duty and love, follows her. His navy collapses behind them. The empire is lost. They return to Alexandria, beautiful, defiant, doomed. The city shines as it always has, but now its light feels like a funeral flame. Octavian marches from the desert. Antony's soldiers desert him. Despair settles like dust. When word reaches him that Cleopatra has taken her own life, Antony draws his sword and falls upon it. He is carried bleeding to the mausoleum she built years before for her own burial. He dies in her arms, whispering that he has lived for honor and her. Outside, the city falls. When Octavian enters, Cleopatra receives him in royal dignity, crowned, radiant, and perfectly calm. She offers him treasure, flattery, obedience. He refuses all. He wants her alive, to display her chained in his triumph through Rome. She promises to live. He believes her. But the next morning, she dines one last time with her servants, sends gifts to Octavian, and retreats to her chamber. When the doors open again, she lies still, dressed in white linen, gold crown upon her brow, a faint wound on her arm. Beside her, a small basket and the serpent within. The asp, sacred to Isis, has given her a royal death. Octavian buries her beside Antony. He annexes Egypt. Its temples fall silent. The 3,000-year line of pharaohs ends with her heartbeat. Rome celebrates victory, but poets mourn the fall of a world. The conqueror becomes emperor, the queen becomes myth, yet her legend refuses to fade. Rome calls her a temptress, the East calls her divine, history calls her unforgettable. She outlived her conquerors in memory. Her face appeared on coins, her story in marble and ink. Artists painted her death as grace, playwrights turned her words into prophecy. Cleopatra was never only one thing, not sinner, not saint, but the last spark of an ancient sun. The Nile still carries her name. The sand still whispers her story at night. And every empire that rises after Rome still remembers how one woman once made the world stop and listen.